Something is happening to your eyes right now between the hours of 2 a.m. and 5 a.m., and most doctors are too busy to ever tell you about it. If you want to stay healthy and independent as you age, hit that subscribe button right now. We share science-backed health tips like this every single day. For over 20 years, I have watched thousands of seniors struggle with failing eyesight. They notice that the text on their phones is getting blurry, they struggle to drive safely at night, they think it is just a normal part of getting older. But after studying the daily habits of patients who keep perfect vision well into their 80s, a clear pattern emerged. Your eyes do not just wear out because of birthdays. They wear out because they run out of fuel during the most critical time of the night. Tonight, I will reveal the one specific vegetable you must eat before bed to protect your vision. Now, before we continue, tell me your age and where you are watching from in the comments. This helps us understand who we are helping. Here is what most people get wrong about protecting their eyes. They think eating a bag of raw carrots at lunch is enough. They think swallowing a random multivitamin morning after morning will save their sight. But science shows that timing is everything. A 2021 study from Johns Hopkins University found that our eyes do 80% of their cellular repair work while we sleep. Specifically between the hours of 2 a.m. and 5 a.m., your eyes are working like a construction crew. They are fixing the damage caused by blue light from your television and sunlight from the day. If your body does not have the right nutrients available at 2 a.m., the repair crew cannot do their job. This leaves your retina, which is the light-sensitive tissue at the back of your eye, completely unprotected. Let me take you deeper into the biology of your eyes and why nighttime repair is so critical. Your eyes are among the most metabolically active tissues in your entire body. The retina, which is the thin layer of tissue at the back of your eye, contains millions of light-sensitive cells called photoreceptors. These cells are constantly exposed to light, which generates harmful free radicals. Free radicals are unstable molecules that damage cells, proteins, and DNA. This damage is called oxidative stress. During the day, your eyes are bombarded with blue light from the sun, from your television, and from your smartphone. This blue light penetrates deep into your retina and accelerates oxidative damage. To repair this damage, your eyes rely on a process called autophagy, which is the body's way of cleaning out damaged cells and regenerating new ones. Autophagy is most active during sleep, particularly during the deep sleep stages that occur between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. During this window, your eyes are working overtime to clear out the cellular debris and repair the damage from the day. But this repair process requires specific nutrients. Without these nutrients, the repair crew is essentially working without tools. The damage accumulates over time, leading to conditions like macular degeneration, cataracts, and night blindness. This is why the timing of your nutrient intake is so important. You need to provide your body with the right building blocks before you go to sleep, so they are available when the repair crew starts working. Now let me tell you about a woman named Margaret. Margaret was 73 years old and had been noticing a gradual decline in her vision for years. She struggled to read the fine print on her medication bottles. She had difficulty driving at night because the headlights from oncoming cars seemed blindingly bright. She was terrified of losing her independence because she knew that poor vision was a leading cause of falls and accidents in seniors. She had been to her eye doctor, who told her she had early-stage cataracts and some signs of macular degeneration. The doctor recommended surgery, but Margaret was scared of the risks. She came to me and said, "Is there anything I can do naturally to save my vision?" I explained to her the importance of the nighttime repair cycle and the specific vegetables that support it. She was skeptical but willing to try. I gave her a simple routine: cooked spinach, red cabbage, and a warm kale broth. Within 3 months, Margaret returned to her eye doctor for a checkup. The doctor was shocked. Her macular degeneration had not progressed, and her cataract development had slowed significantly. Margaret told me, "I feel like I got a second chance. I can read my books again without a magnifying glass." Margaret's story is a powerful reminder that you have more control over your eye health than you think. You just need to know the right tools and the right timing. The first vegetable that protects your eyes is the purple shield. Most people think that all vegetables are created equal when it comes to eye health. But actually, standard green vegetables do not have the specific pigment needed to block harmful nighttime oxidation. Oxidation is like rust forming on a car, but it happens inside your eyes. A 2022 study from the University of Utah found that a specific purple pigment called anthocyanin reduces oxidative stress in retinal cells by 34%. When you eat red cabbage before bed, your body digests it slowly. This slow digestion creates a time-release effect. The purple nutrients enter your bloodstream right when you hit deep sleep. Red cabbage contains over 30 different types of these protective pigments. Think of it like putting a protective tarp over your car before a massive hailstorm hits. Let me explain how anthocyanins work to protect your eyes. Anthocyanins are a type of flavonoid, which is a class of plant compounds with powerful antioxidant properties. They are responsible for the red, purple, and blue colors in many fruits and vegetables. When you consume anthocyanins, they travel through your bloodstream and accumulate in your retina. There they act as a shield, absorbing harmful blue light and neutralizing free radicals before they can damage your photoreceptors. Anthocyanins also improve blood flow to your eyes, ensuring that oxygen and nutrients are delivered efficiently. This is particularly important for the macula, the central part of your retina that is responsible for sharp vision. Studies have shown that anthocyanins can slow the progression of macular degeneration and reduce the risk of cataracts. They also help reduce eye fatigue and improve night vision. Red cabbage is one of the richest sources of anthocyanins, containing over 30 different types. This diversity is important because each type of anthocyanin has slightly different properties, and together they provide comprehensive protection. To get this benefit, you do not need to eat a massive bowl of raw cabbage. In fact, raw cabbage can be hard on your stomach at night. Instead, take just 1/2 cup of shredded red cabbage. Steam it gently for 3 minutes to soften the fibers. This release of nutrients makes it much easier for your body to absorb. Add a small splash of olive oil to help your body take in the vitamins. The healthy fat is essential because many of the protective compounds in cabbage are fat-soluble, meaning they need fat to be absorbed. But wait until you see the next vegetable, because it targets the actual fluid pressure inside your eyes. Quick question: have you experienced blurry vision when reading in dim light lately? Comment yes or no below. The second vegetable is the pressure valve. Most people believe that vision loss is always caused by a lack of vitamins, but actually, many seniors lose their sight because the physical fluid pressure inside their eyeball rises too high. Think of your eye like a water balloon. If you pump too much water into it, the walls get tense and the delicate nerves at the back start to crush. A 2023 study from the University of California, Los Angeles found that low potassium levels in seniors are directly linked to an 11% increase in intraocular pressure, which is the scientific name for fluid pressure inside the eye. Beet greens, which are the leafy green tops of the beetroot, contain more potassium than a banana. Eating them before bed acts like opening a pressure release valve on that water balloon. It allows the fluid to drain naturally while you sleep. Let me explain the importance of intraocular pressure and how potassium helps. Your eye is filled with a clear fluid called aqueous humor. This fluid is constantly being produced and drained to maintain a stable pressure. When the drainage system becomes blocked or inefficient, the pressure builds up. This is called intraocular hypertension, and it is the primary risk factor for glaucoma. Glaucoma is a group of eye conditions that damage the optic nerve, which connects your eye to your brain. This damage is irreversible and can lead to blindness. Potassium is essential for maintaining the balance of fluids in your body, including the fluids in your eye. It helps regulate the production and drainage of aqueous humor, keeping the pressure within a healthy range. Potassium also supports the function of the cells in your optic nerve, protecting them from damage. Beet greens are an excellent source of potassium, containing over 400 milligrams per half cup. They also contain other important nutrients for eye health, including magnesium, iron, and vitamins A and C. Most people throw beet greens directly into the trash can. That is a massive mistake for your eyes. Instead, wash a handful of these greens thoroughly. Sauté them in a pan with a little bit of butter for 2 minutes. You only need about 1/2 cup of cooked beet greens to get over 400 milligrams of potassium. This keeps your eye pressure stable through the early morning hours when pressure spikes usually happen. If you cannot find beet greens, you can also use Swiss chard or spinach, but beet greens have the highest potassium content. But wait until you see the next vegetable, because it targets the clear lens of your eye. The third vegetable is the lens cleaner. Most people think that cataracts, which make the clear lens of your eye look cloudy, are just an unavoidable part of aging. They think you just have to wait until you need surgery. But actually, that cloudiness is caused by proteins clumping together due to a lack of sulfur. A 2020 study from the University of Michigan found that older adults who consumed high-sulfur vegetables daily reduced their risk of lens cloudiness by 26%. Garlic is one of the richest sources of organic sulfur on the planet. When you eat garlic before bed, the sulfur compounds travel to the lens of your eye. It acts like a windshield wiper fluid, preventing those proteins from sticking together and forming a cloudy film. Let me explain the structure of your eye lens and why sulfur is so important. The lens of your eye is made up of crystalline proteins. These proteins are arranged in a highly organized manner to maintain the transparency of the lens. As you age, these proteins can become damaged by oxidative stress and begin to clump together. This clumping is what causes the lens to become cloudy, which is known as a cataract. Sulfur is an essential mineral for the production of glutathione, which is one of the most powerful antioxidants in your body. Glutathione protects the proteins in your lens from oxidative damage and helps maintain their correct structure. It also helps to repair damaged proteins and prevent them from clumping. Without adequate sulfur, your lens proteins are more vulnerable to damage and cataracts develop more rapidly. Garlic is one of the richest dietary sources of sulfur. It contains a compound called allicin, which is broken down into various sulfur-containing compounds when you crush or chop it. These compounds are highly bioavailable and travel to your lens where they help maintain its clarity. Most seniors avoid garlic at night because they worry about bad breath or heartburn. Here is how you fix that. Take 1 clove of fresh garlic and crush it with the flat side of a knife. Let it sit on your cutting board for 10 minutes. This waiting time activates the healing compound called allicin. Then lightly simmer it in a little bit of chicken broth or vegetable broth. Drink this small cup of warm broth 1 hour before bed. It comforts your stomach and cleanses your eye lenses while you rest. If you cannot tolerate garlic, you can also use onions or leeks, which contain lower amounts of sulfur but still provide benefits. Before we go further, if this is making sense so far, hit that like button. It tells me you want more videos like this. The fourth vegetable is the internal sunglasses. Most people assume that eating yellow corn or carrots is the best way to get lutein. Lutein is a yellow pigment that acts like internal sunglasses for your retina. It filters out the harsh blue light from your bedroom television or smartphone screen. But actually, dark leafy greens contain up to 10 times more lutein than yellow vegetables. A 2024 study from Harvard Medical School found that seniors who consumed 10 milligrams of lutein daily experienced a 42% reduction in the progression of macular degeneration, which is a leading cause of blindness. Kale is absolute king when it comes to this nutrient. If your retina does not have enough lutein at 3 a.m., the blue light damage from the previous day causes permanent scars on your vision cells. Let me explain how lutein and zeaxanthin protect your retina. These two carotenoids are the only pigments that accumulate in the macula, the central part of your retina responsible for sharp, detailed vision. They form a yellow pigment layer called the macular pigment. This layer acts like a pair of internal sunglasses, absorbing harmful blue light and protecting the photoreceptor cells underneath. Blue light is particularly damaging because it has high energy and penetrates deep into the retina. Over time, blue light exposure can cause the formation of lipofuscin, which is a toxic waste product that damages retinal cells. Lutein and zeaxanthin also act as antioxidants, neutralizing free radicals before they can cause harm. Studies have shown that people with higher macular pigment density have a lower risk of macular degeneration and better visual performance. Kale is one of the richest sources of lutein, containing over 20 milligrams per cup. However, many people find kale too tough to eat, especially before bed. The secret is to make a simple, warm bedtime tea. Take 3 fresh kale leaves and remove the tough center stems. Boil the leaves in 2 cups of water for 5 minutes. Strain the liquid into a mug and add a tiny pinch of sea salt. This green broth delivers a massive dose of lutein directly to your digestive system. It absorbs quickly and starts protecting your retina long before the clock strikes 2 a.m. You can also add a splash of lemon juice to improve the absorption of the nutrients. The fifth vegetable is the ultimate night repairer. We have arrived at the single most powerful vegetable you can eat before bed for healthy eyes. Most people think spinach is just for building muscles, but actually spinach contains a precise golden ratio of zeaxanthin and vitamin A that no other vegetable can match. Zeaxanthin is a specialized nutrient that concentrates directly in the macula, which is the very center of your retina responsible for sharp, clear focus. A 2022 study from the University of Oxford found that eating cooked spinach within 2 hours of sleep increased macular pigment density by 23% over 6 months. This means it literally thickens the protective shield in the back of your eye. Without enough vitamin A and zeaxanthin during the critical 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. repair window, your eyes suffer from night blindness. This makes it incredibly difficult for your pupils to adjust when you walk into a dark room. Let me explain the synergy between vitamin A and zeaxanthin. Vitamin A is essential for the production of rhodopsin, a protein in your photoreceptor cells that allows you to see in low light conditions. Without enough vitamin A, your night vision deteriorates. Zeaxanthin, on the other hand, provides structural support to the macula and protects it from oxidative damage. Together, these nutrients provide comprehensive protection for your retina. Spinach contains both of these nutrients in a highly bioavailable form. It also contains lutein, which adds an additional layer of protection. The combination of these three nutrients makes spinach the most powerful vegetable for eye health. To get the absolute most out of spinach, you must cook it. Raw spinach contains oxalates, which are tiny crystals that block your body from absorbing eye-protecting minerals. Take 1 full cup of fresh spinach leaves, steam them until they wilt down to a very small portion. Drizzle half a teaspoon of avocado oil or olive oil over the top. The healthy fat is absolutely mandatory. Without fat, your body cannot transport the vitamin A from your stomach to your eyes. Eat this small, warm, savory snack about 90 minutes before you go to sleep. You can also add a sprinkle of black pepper, which enhances the absorption of nutrients. I would love to hear your story. What made you click on this video today? Share in the comments. Let us pump the brakes for a second. I am not saying this to scare you, but we must discuss how to use these vegetables safely. If you take blood-thinning medications, you must be very careful. Vegetables like kale and spinach are extremely rich in vitamin K. Vitamin K helps your blood clot, which can interfere with your medication. You do not need to avoid these vegetables completely, but you must keep your intake consistent. Do not eat a mountain of spinach one night and none the next. Always speak with your doctor before making sudden changes to your diet if you are on prescription medication. Furthermore, if you suddenly experience flashes of light, a shower of dark spots in your vision, or a dark curtain falling over your eyes, do not look for a vegetable. Go straight to an emergency room. These are signs of a retinal detachment, which requires immediate medical surgery. If you have a history of kidney stones, be cautious with spinach and beet greens because they contain oxalates, which can contribute to stone formation. If you have an allergy to any of these vegetables, substitute with other sources of the same nutrients. There is always an alternative. The key is to find what works for your body and your lifestyle. So you are convinced, but thinking, how do I actually do this without spending hours in the kitchen every night? Let us look at the simplest options. You do not need to eat all 5 of these vegetables every single night. That would overwhelm your digestion and your grocery budget. Instead, choose just 1 vegetable for the week. For example, start with the steamed spinach on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The next week, switch to the warm kale broth. This keeps your grocery bill low and your routine incredibly simple. Buying frozen spinach or frozen kale is a fantastic budget-friendly alternative. Frozen vegetables are picked at peak ripeness and frozen immediately, meaning they often contain just as many eye-protecting nutrients as fresh ones from the produce aisle. You can also prepare these vegetables in batches. For example, you can steam a large batch of spinach and store it in the fridge for several days. Then you just need to reheat a small portion each night. This saves time and makes the routine easier to maintain. You can also incorporate these vegetables into other meals. For example, you can add sautéed beet greens to your omelet in the morning, or you can add red cabbage to a salad at lunch. The key is to find a routine that fits your lifestyle and that you enjoy. Look, there is a lot of noise out there about senior health. You do not need to overthink this or buy expensive, unverified supplements online. Simplicity is the key to longevity. Start with just 1 small portion of cooked spinach 90 minutes before bed tonight. Your body will tell you if it is working. You might notice less eye strain when you wake up, or better clarity when reading the morning newspaper. You might notice that you can see more clearly in dim light. These are small signs that your eyes are healing. Over time, these small improvements add up to significant protection against age-related vision loss. You have the power to protect your vision naturally. Use it. If this helped you, hit that like button. And if you want more videos like this, make sure you are subscribed because we post new health tips every single day. Stay healthy, stay strong.